Alright, good morning guys, welcome back to another video. As you guys can see, the R34 is finally, it's on its wheels and it's all done and it's back home. That's not the only thing we're going to be doing today. I have a few more parts which I'll show you guys what we're going to install today as well. Starting it off, we have our Nismo rear LED lights. Hopefully the light can pick it up. So the Nismo LED rear lights we're probably going to do on our third installation just because it's a little bit more tedious. First and probably the easiest thing we're going to do is the front bumper bar installation. And a big reason why I want to install it on camera is I want to show you guys how much of a difference the front crash bar has done for the alignment for the actual front bumper bar as well. So I haven't seen it too, it's going to be my first time putting on the front bar, so I'm pretty excited to see how much better the front end looks, which are right here. We have our Mine's carbon rear boot spoiler, so we're going to put this on, give it a test fit. I want to see if I want to leave it carbon or if I want to paint match it the Bayside blue. This little rubber bit, it looks like nothing, but this was like 400 Australian dollars. This thing was insanely expensive. I don't know why, I guess because it's a genuine GTR part as well. But this, what it is for is a rubber that goes pretty much here on the front bumper bar. Hopefully you guys can see. Let's go over all the new things that we put onto the car now, and then we can get into installing our new bits. Quickly run over everything that's been done. So again, front crash bar, reinforcement for the actual power steering pump. You guys can't really see it, but in here we now have our fender liner. Now, of course, the biggest changes had to happen inside the actual engine bay. A lot of it was with the actual catch can, where we had to have the intake revent into it, so it's not ventilated outside into the air. We had to reinforce this hole, which was cut here too, so that was reinforced. Look, it's not the prettiest job, but we will go over and weld it to make it look proper. Well, I closed off the intake anyway. I don't know if it's required, but it's also better to just, as much as you can, get away the hot air from the cold air intake. Kind of one of also the benefits of doing this, and just looks a little bit neater. Wasn't really recommended, didn't really have to do it, but we did it anyway. Turbo heat shield and also ABS heat shield too, which was required. Coming back here, we had to change the master cylinder. We did that as well. Cleaned up a lot of the wiring back here, even though honestly it's still not that clean. I might have to still clean it up a bit myself, but it is a bit better than what it was before. That's probably something I still have to finish. And other than that, that's about it for the engine bay. So nothing too crazy, but just small little tedious things that the engineer wanted to make sure he can go ahead and engineer it. But honestly, the engine bay is pretty tidy and it's pretty clean. And in the interior, everything is all finally back together. If you guys remember in the other video, everything was just all apart. There was wires and cables everywhere. And we spent a lot of our time trying to dial in. Yeah, honestly, the UC10, getting all these lights to work was probably the annoyingest part, because running the actual cable for the seatbelt, this part here, we had to do it behind the dash. So that was a little bit of an annoying. A lot of these check engine lights, pretty easy. ABS is pretty easy. It goes through to the ECU. But yeah, seatbelt and airbag were pretty difficult. So thank God that's done. The way that it's set up now with the IC7 and then the UC10, this whole dash layout and the interior, with also the keypad, the boost controls, it just looks, oh man, I don't know. This is insane. Once I put a Mine steering wheel in here, it's gonna completely finish up the interior. All right, so coming into the boot, behind you, if you guys remember, we had the big surge tank where we had the twin pumps, and we had to cover that. So that all had to be covered, and then we had to have a drain fuel path for that too. So worst case, if it overflowed, it's a drainage fuel path that leads down to here. Yeah, so that was it for everything that had to get done for the engineering, and I can finally say that the R34 is ready and has been booked in for the second inspection, where they're gonna do the emissions test, brake test, suspension test, and everything. And we did have to run this pretty ugly old exhaust, so that's only of course for the engineering that we have to run it. I hope it's going to be enough to pass. If not, we might have to add another cat or resonator somewhere, but I'm hoping, we'll see. Alright, so we'll test fit our Mine's rear boot lip, and this just goes over the rear boot, to be honest, and I think pretty much just like that. I kind of like that it matches the rear of the carbon rear blade, the carbon extension, and I think if this is carbon, it kind of works. But I've been thinking of paint matching it the same base light blue as the car, just to give it the fullness as well. So I'm a little bit tossing and turning between the two, but yeah, I would definitely like to know your guys' opinions. If you leave a comment down below if we should leave it carbon or go base light blue as well. It's definitely sitting a lot higher, running into headlight gap issues now. I'm wondering if the bonnet would even close. And then what this bit is meant to be is as well, is it just goes over here, just like that. Because even I think the way that it's sitting now, the bonnet's not going to close. No. Look, I'm liking how it's lining up with a lot of things, but the front crash bar definitely did change a lot of, I want to say, the alignment of the front end, fiddle around with it and just find out exactly what's the issue. If I have to do a bit of trimming or if I have to get a whole new front bumper bar, we're gonna have to find out. Alright, but before we get into all that, the R34 is unfortunately blowing a lot of white smoke, and I believe what it's come down to, my thought is the E85 that's in the car is off. So we're going to be draining the actual fuel today. Once we drain the fuel, we'll put in new E85 and see and test it if it's still burning that white vapor looking smoke, because I couldn't really think of what else it could be. It's not burning coolant. The coolant level's fine. I've run the car a little bit and the coolant's okay, and there's no actual oil or any buildup in the intake. So it's nothing to do with the turbo. One conclusion that it could be, which in my opinion, it's the actual E85 that's off, and I'm pretty sure because the car has just been sitting for 3 to 4 months. So I'm assuming that, yeah, it's just built up just water vapor in the tank. As you can see, a little bit there, flex fuel sensor, and that's my fuel pressure regulator here. And I believe I just have to disconnect this AN line and put up a hose here, and then we can start the car in second ignition a few times to just pump a bit of the fuel out through here. It was pretty ghetto, but I think it worked. So yeah, we're almost done. Yeah, almost out of fuel. We're gonna go fill up our E85 and we'll come back, fill up the 34, and we'll give it a start and see if this is going to fix and resolve the issue. We filled up our 98 octane. I didn't go for E85 just because I thought the car is gonna be sitting around for a while and I don't want the same water evaporation thing that the 85 does if you leave it sitting around for too long to happen again. So I just ended up going for 98 fuel. So it's gonna probably be a 98 octane until the car's registered, and then we'll go back to E85 and make the proper power. But I guess that's the benefit of having flex fuel. Just because the car's sitting now, there's no benefit for it to be on E85 because it'll probably just go off again. We have our new fuel all filled in, so 98 octane is all in now. E85 should be gradually out as much as we can, but we'll give it a start and let it run for a bit. Alright, there we go. I've just been letting it idle for a little bit. But honestly, just looking at it, I haven't started the car in about a week or two. But just sitting here idle just gave me so much more motivation to just honestly finish the car. To seeing where it is now, it's just so close to being done. It's almost 90% done. Honestly, just getting this car legal and registered. But the whole journey for the past 3 years of just getting this car to where it is now, from when it was a bone stock 34 GTT to how it is now, I kind of honestly overlook how far this car has come and how nice it has turned out as well. I mean, you can't really see because it's a bit dark right now, but how good the actual paint is, especially when we do a paint correction on this thing. Once we give it a cut back and polish and ceramic coat, this blue is going to look absolutely insane. Just the whole setup with the Brembos, the T37s, which we do have to unfortunately change. I left my car cover on because I couldn't be bothered taking it off. But to where the car has come now, it's honestly, it's ridiculously nice, and it's just so aggressive, and it's just so wide, and it's, yeah, for sure a dream come true. The car's been running for a while where I can't really see any white smoke anymore, so I'm pretty happy, and I'm pretty confident that that was the issue. The tank just had moisture from the 85. Pretty sure we've resolved it. I'll still set up the camera and we'll reverse and see once I accelerate and put the car under pressure if it's still blowing some white smoke. But from what it is now to what it was before when it had the old 85 in there, it's almost nothing. So I'm 100% sure that we fixed the 85 cloud issue from the exhaust. Now all that's left is really to just put on the front bumper bar. So once we put the front bar on, we're having a little bit of an issue with the front crash bar kind of raising the front bumper bar up, but I'm going to have to figure out how to install the front bar since I can't be bothered, or we might even see if I can't and the fitment is just horrendous and we can't do it, then I will buy a new Z-tube front bumper bar. I might get the plastic ones since why not, you know, I might upgrade it. For some reason 98 tune sounds better than the 85 in terms of health wise. Alright. I can't really see, but hold it at 2000 RPMs and see how the car likes that. And even though I'm just driving it for this little bit of time, it's so much fun to drive the car. Also another reason why I know E85 was pretty off as well, because this car is idling a lot better. Even the RPMs and the way that the car builds RPM and doesn't drop RPM is a lot better too on 98. Alright, well let's give it a proper attempt and see if we could get it to line up. I'm probably just going to do corners first. I'm just going to slide it in and probably work on just getting these corners mounted first, and then we'll work on the center. Yeah, we'll straighten the wheel and just see just how everything looks as well. You know the odd thing, the very weird thing that's happened? See this gap below here? I don't know if I can even improve that, because what I think, well, the front bumper bar was put on, the headlights were sagging, so I believe the body guy, when he extended these guards to match the GTR wider guards, the line here was to a sloped headlight. So he extended this up, which is limiting me from actually pulling the bumper bar up. So that's why you guys are going to see this gap here at the moment. And look, I could trim down here, but it's just so much work. And I feel like it's probably just going to be a better route and better option for me to just get a plastic Z-Tune GTR genuine one, then continue to rock this. But for now, we will rock it. Just note, you know, I know that there is a big gap below the headlight. I don't know, it has pushed up a lot, so we'll see. Yeah, that's what I'm running into at the moment. It's so weird. Never ran into that issue before. And it's hitting here. I can show you what I'm running into. You can see how the bonnet's not closing because it's running into that issue. So it's hitting the actual front bar here. And I believe just mainly because this is so thick and it's for a GTT, that it's meant to compensate for something in terms of the conversion if you don't do it correctly. But since I have all proper GTR, so other option is if I can shift the bonnet back, I could do that. did try pushing the bonnet back a bit further back, but see this part here, it's hitting, and I think honestly it's pushing so far back now that this bit here is too thick, and I think it's for a GTT. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it up with a texter and just trim back as much as I can to the point, but I'm probably just going to start from this edge, see how much I have to trim back, and then push it down and see if it closes, because I think the front, yeah, even the front's not going to clear, so I probably have to get a texter. Almost there. I just need to cut off just the tiniest bit of section off the left side here. Alright, so let's see if all the trimming that we've done and sanding that we've done back here has paid off. I've also readjusted the bonnet too, just because it was tilting a bit to the left, so I've kind of positioned it a bit more to the forward. But yeah, I guess all that's left is for us to close it and see that if it's paid off. So let's go. I mean, that lines up pretty good, and it latched. Thank God. That's sweet. So the bonnet closes now, thankfully. So all we got to do now is just pretty much just take the 34, give it a wash. But honestly, that's pretty much it. We're pretty much done for the car. I mean, we've cleaned the tank, so it now has a fresh tank of 98. So now it has a fresh tank of fuel and doesn't burn vapor fuel anymore. So for the emissions test, that's going to be good. Front bars on, which we needed to as well. Front crash bars behind it, which was what was causing us this big grief, is because how much further I think the front crash bar has actually lifted this section. And then this section was actually for an R34 GTT without the GTR bonnet latch, and I think without the GTR front crash bar. But I am definitely going to be replacing this once the car is registered, engineered. We will get a proper Z-Tune plastic front bumper bar. I didn't do a terrible job. It lines up pretty well. So I'm actually pretty happy that it's decently lined up. Again, this whole front bumper bar is going to get replaced. I do need to wash the car now because of all the fiberglass that's kind of sprayed everywhere. But other than that, R34 is pretty much done. Front bar is on. Once the car is engineered, passed, and registered, we're going to do a complete re-amp of the whole car. The whole front end is going to get a whole new front end pretty much. Z-Tune bonnet, wider Z-Tune guards, actual proper GTR body kit. Because I think this is GTT kits extended to look like a GTR, which is just throwing off the alignment a lot. So I'm going to go full GTR front end. Going to be really good because we have all the hardware now. Headlight brackets and everything's all GTR. We just need to get proper GTR fitting kits. That's it for the R34. So everything that the engineer told me we've fixed and done, I've gone over it with you guys as well. So everything's all ready for its second inspection, where they're going to do the brake test, suspension test, emissions test. Yeah, see how the car goes from there. And that's honestly on the 30th of June. And we'll see how we go. Hopefully we pass. If we pass, then we can get an engineering certificate and put it inside the car. Then we can go to the Service New South Wales and finally get it in for its blue slip inspection and get rid of that red label defect sticker and get this 34 back on the road. And honestly, when it's on the road, that's when we're going to continue to just develop this whole car and to make it something really nice. Completely refresh the whole front end of the car. There's still a lot I want to do in terms of the interior, seat wise. We'll see how it goes. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. 34's all done and ready. We've fixed everything that the engineer told us to on that list. Next weekend, we're going to probably veer away from the engineering side of the R34, and we're going to finally do a modification or an upgraded part for the R34 that I've been wanting to do for a while. So I'll see you guys in a future video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video as well. Peace.